What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I actually just bought my very first meme coin on Sui, which I'm pretty damn excited about, and I wanted to talk to you all about it today. This is a company that I've kind of seen circulating a good bit. They started doing some work with my agency, which you guys know I run an influencer relations agency, and I was like, you know what? Like, I got some extra Sui that I actually had from a deal that I did a while back, and I was like, hey, I'm buying my first meme coin today. It's not the best time for meme coins, quite frankly, and that's why we haven't been talking about them here a ton on the channel. We've really been focused on the major cryptos and technical analysis, but when we have these moments where I think there are certain memes that do well, I like to bring them to you all. Of course, the goal of the Tyler Hill Investing channel is to show you how I invest. So I do technical analysis on major cryptos and I do fundamental analysis on micro cryptos. And so today we're going to be doing a little bit of fundamental analysis, talking about what this is, why I like it, why I invested into it, much more. As I mentioned before, this is the very first Sui meme. And guys know, I know it's Sui, but it's hard to say Sui in videos. Anyway, I'm my first Sui meme coin here. And so I'm pretty excited about it. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, some of the opportunities that I see and much more. So let's get into it. So what we can see here is I just bought something called Lofi the Yeti. Now, as I mentioned before, they did start doing some stuff with my agency, so it popped up on my radar more from a back-end perspective. They are getting some kind of videos and stuff and content going with other creators, and I was like, you know what, like, hey, spending some money on marketing, they're getting the name out there, the community's building, I want to pick up a little bit of this myself. Now, what they are is quite simply just your good, typical meme coin. As you can see here, they're not going all crazy down the route of trying to have all of these utilities that are unimportant and all these utilities that'll never come to fruition. No, all they're literally doing is creating a meme coin, making a story behind that meme coin, behind that character, and then building a community. And I've said it so consistently here on the channel that cryptos like that want to take the real meme approach need to take the real meme approach, right? I want you to think of like a Pepe or a Brett, for example. They're not doing all this crazy stuff. They took a character, made a story behind it, or they already was a story behind it, but take the story behind it and use that to build a community, and that's it. If you can successfully do it, you win. If you fail, you lose. It's just that simple. I hate when we go down this weird rabbit hole of trying to turn a meme coin into like this top-notch blockchain with utility. I'm like, why? We don't need that, right? It's pointless. You're not going to be able to compete with the best blockchain, so why? Make a good community, and that's what they're doing. Now, this style is one of my favorites. I've noticed cryptos that have this, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to explain. Like that, you see what their symbol looks like? That style where it looks kind of like Pepe, it looks kind of like Brett, it kind of looks like those sorts. They do well. They do very well, and this one is doing very well. If we go to Lofi, for example, we got it's either Lo-Fi or Lofi, but I would assume it's Lofi. We can see here that their fully diluted valuation is currently $33 million, $1.4 million of liquidity, absolutely smashing it, over $1 million worth of volume, and I think they only released about 4 or 5 days ago. They're currently number 4 on the Sui meme coin list, meaning that they're the 4th biggest on the Sui meme coin list. And again, they're only 4 days old, which is absolutely impressive. Now, what I will say is we obviously have seen like Suding, the Hippo token, Blub, a few of these other ones. We've actually seen these ones push like $200 million market cap and above, and that's still like a 6 or 7x from here for Lofi. And so in my opinion, I mean, I can't see a reasoning if they've already opened up that door for Sui meme coins to start pushing the 100, 200, $300 million mark. I do think that Lofi could be one of those ones. It has very, very similar feelings and aspects to it as to what we have seen from those like Pepe and from Brett. And so again, it is one that I wanted to add to my own portfolio as my very first Sui meme, which is very exciting. Now, the general story is very simple. I guess I'll kind of shortly go through it. It says here that Lofi was trapped for millennia, encased in the deep ice within the Himalayas. As Earth's warming and global tensions rose, Lofi was freed, only to find the world overwhelmed by tribalism and chaos. But Lofi is not here to dwell on the past. He's determined to own his own future. When he discovered Sui blockchain, he found his purpose: to unite a new family of Yetis, builders, believers, and dreamers who are ready to challenge the status quo and build a better financial future. Now, going forward, the way that they want to kind of implement this is by, again, as I mentioned before, taking this character and turning it into a community. Now, from a token perspective, the way in which they're going to approach this is very strong in my opinion. Operations treasury 10%, market making and centralized exchange listings 10%, Sui ecosystem airdrops 5%. This is a healthy amount that's going to allow them to have enough tokens to make some moves, because you got to think, right, these guys, these meme coins and stuff, they're not just like out here just getting free promos, right? Like sometimes they are if someone's investing into them, for example. But whenever they're running these gigantic marketing campaigns, they need to use tokens, they have to pay in cash, they have to do something, right? And so by allocating some of the tokens off to the side, the bigger that the project gets, the more money that they have to work with, more tokens they have to work with to spend and be able to reinvest it back into marketing. When they get it back into marketing, more people see it. More people see it, price typically goes up. Price goes up, more money for marketing. You get the structure, you get the cycle. And so being able to allocate some of this off to the side is good, because sometimes companies take one of two approaches. They'll either have no token set aside, but there's a transaction tax of like 5%. They use the cash or the tokens generated from the tax and use that to spend on marketing, development, whatever. Well, you can either do that, or what you can do is just take a portion of the supply, be responsible with it, be reasonable with it, and use that portion of the supply to kind of create a self-sustaining cycle for at least a little while that allows you to use those tokens to get marketing, which makes the value of the remaining tokens go up, and you can keep it going. I personally do prefer the token thing. The reason being is because it diversifies out a little bit over time anyway, and you're not being charged 5%. Like, you're not just losing your gains, because you got to think about it. If you own a crypto and there's a tax, you're losing gains. So if it goes up a certain percentage, when you have to pay that tax, you're losing some of your gains, which I think is ridiculous. I don't really like that all too much. And it's okay, 1%, 2% is fine, but I do prefer it whenever they focus it more on this way, in which they're just using tokens over a granted period of time. Now, there is a 0.25% LP fee, but that's just not even remotely substantial. So that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with this. And so overall, from a tokenomics perspective, I think it looks good. And I like what they're doing. The craziest thing is, like, if you go over to their Twitter, they only have 1,400 followers, which is like rather small, right? But then you go look and there's freaking I think we saw the holder count earlier. I can't see it here for some reason. Maybe I need to put my glasses on. But the holder count is growing, and it's growing fast. And again, they're doing millions of dollars in volume over 24 hours, yet they're not even really catching a lot of steam yet. And this is why I think that if they really do start pushing this bad boy, and we can see it start passing, MemeFi, Hippo, Blub, if it can start pushing up through these ones, I can imagine this one, really gaining some traction, right? 10K, 20K followers on Twitter, pushing up 100 million, 200 million market cap. I think it's possible. And as I mentioned before earlier in the video, it's not the best time to be investing into meme coins yet. I don't think that the altcoin cycle has really started to flow down into meme coins, but sometimes there are ones like these that just perform exceptionally well against the market, and you have to take notice of it. I mean, if we go back to CoinGecko, you can see here, right? Look at the 7-day performance of these other ones, even 24-hour performance of a lot of these ones, right? Like 10% down on this one, 6% down on this one, all of these down percent, but we got Lofi and MemeFi coming in and putting in gains. So whenever they're fighting against the tide, what do you think could happen if this market does turn around, right? What if SUI itself starts pumping? Now we're going to be in a spot to where Lofi has its underlying, the underlying blockchain that is built on pumping. It opens up the doors for this thing to start catching some exponential growth. And so obviously if the market continues down and we start to see liquidity really slow down, then yeah, it might struggle a little bit. This is its first pump, and usually after first pumps you will see pullbacks and crashes and things like that every now and then. That is normal. But at the end of the day, you have to pay attention to what the future could hold, and considering that it's just about $27-30 million market cap, it does seem to me as if it could be one of those ones that does push up into the higher one. So I'm willing to take a bit of a flyer on it. I'm willing to take that risk, throw a little bit of cash at it, and kind of just see what happens. Of course, I did actually announce this over in my Patreon down below that I was going to be buying this one, and that it was my very first SUI meme coin. So if you do want to check out the Patreon, feel free. There's a bunch of stuff down there for you. So I'll just leave the link down below, and I will leave the link over to Lofi as well. So go check all that out. Let me know what you think. But this is, again, my very first SUI meme, and I'm very excited about it. So hopefully I'm right. Hopefully we see the bad boy push 50, 100, 150 million dollars in market cap. And of course, I will continue to update you as this all does play out. So of course, if you guys do enjoy, let me know what you think down below. I don't do a lot of videos on meme coins and microcaps right now, again, just because it's not the part of the cycle that we're in, but it is something that we do here on the channel. So let me know down below, are there any meme coins that you're looking at, let's say $100 million in market cap and below, that you think would be interesting? Let me know if we should give them a check. Maybe I'll buy a little bit of it. So let me know down there, and of course, I'll see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.